Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Listen, before I get started, let me remind anyone that have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do that now and click the notification bell. Okay, on with the story. So, I just was reading different sources of information that Tamar Braxton's boyfriend, David, went to get a restraining order against her. Now, there wasn't much information. That's basically most of what I know. I know that in previous, when she first, it was first heard that she tried to commit suicide, and I did a podcast on that. It didn't sit well with me, but I said, well, you never know behind closed doors. Guys, you never know what happens behind closed doors. He's trying to act like the hero. She's giving him that role, but something just didn't sit right with me. Now, I don't know the facts behind this. One of the sources that I got this information, in my opinion, is kind of sketchy. Iffy, TMZ, okay? But still, I feel something about all this. And in my podcast, I told Tamar, as if she could hear me, but I put it out there, Tamar, watch your back. I have had podcasts and video regarding Tamar, watch your back. People have said she has changed since she has met this guy. Her temperament, her attitude is similar to his now. That's what some people are saying. I don't know. I don't know her personally. All I know that Tamar, watch your back. He's the one who found her. David is the one that so-called found her when she allegedly tried to commit suicide, which may or may not be true. He is the one who talked to the police. It reminds me of something personal that I know about from someone that I know about that happened to him. This story is sounding too familiar, where the one person is trying to build evidence against the other person as far as they're being unstable, trying to do domestic violence, file domestic violence charges against them. It led to them calling the police against them, acting like they were the victim, and in essence, the victim was the one that everybody was thinking, okay, something's wrong with them. What they did was try to provoke, and even with mental abuse, and in cases, physical abuse. And having that, hanging certain things over their head, like if you don't do what I say, if you don't act the way I want you to act, all I got, look at your past. Look what you've done previously. All I have to do is call the police because you got a pattern. You got, this is documented that you tried to commit suicide. This is documented that you have hit me. And that other person being very afraid because they got the goods on them. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying that this is exactly what's happening to Tamar, but it sure do look familiar. It looks like he's wanting complete control. He's wanting control over Tamar. And Tamar's personality is like, no, he ain't have complete control. So let me do this, do that, so people will think you're incompetent and I can get to do what I want to do. Just speculating, guys. That's all me. But I'm just saying all of this looks too familiar for my liking. He went to the court today for that restraining order. Nothing was, at this time, I don't see anything that says he was granted that order. Nothing was said about, what Tamar, whatever statement she's made. There's no information about that. But I'm not trusting this. They were in bliss, remember? Not too long ago. It was speculated that they're engaged now and that she was so happy. And she's telling him, oh, David, you saved my life. And then this comes up. Don't you think? Don't that sound kind of fishy? That now he's her savior and this and that. And then now he's filing a domestic. You never know what happens behind closed doors. And Tamar, if you could possibly hear this, run, girl, run, because he appears to be setting you up for what his real agenda. And you know what? I have seen certain comments when this particular subject comes up where people would say, it's something about David that just don't rub me right. And I know, we've seen Tamar shenanigans. We've all seen her shenanigans. But I agree, it is something about that man that don't rub me right. And it may not be the extreme that I'm thinking, because like I said, I don't know this couple. We can only form opinions on what the few minutes of people's lives show us and then we form an opinion about things. We don't know their real, true lives. But if this is true, that he has gone to file for a restraining order, then common sense would tell us something's up. There's a lot we not seeing. There's a lot we don't know. I'm just going basically on my gut feelings. He ain't right, y'all. Now, I'm not saying Tamar is completely innocent in all this. But in this other case that I was telling you about, he kept poking and poking and poking. And then he would push her down or body slam her. And then when she tried to protect herself and with a weapon and was beating on the door, he had locked himself behind the door. Then he would turn on his phone and record what she's screaming. And as she's knocking on the door, he didn't record the part he played in it. Like David, he's not saying his part in it. He just trying to put Tamar in a light like she ain't wrapped tight. And guys, she may not be wrapped tight in a lot of areas, but I don't believe that Tamar is crazy. I don't believe it. I think it may be some things that she's dealing with that's hard for her to deal with, and she's reacting to it, namely David. And in the past, before David came in the picture, there were certain things that she reacted to. But that does not make her crazy. So guys, I just wanted to bring you this because to me, it's if this is all true, like I said, one of the sources is TMZ. So, that in itself, you got a side eye. But I still think that he is not what he appears to be. Tamar's been transparent in a lot of ways, with the television show they had, exposing some things. Yeah, I think a lot of it was scripted. But she has shown more of herself than David. How much do you know about that man? I'm asking you, Tamar. How much do you really know about that man? I saw something recently and it looked like his mom, but he had Tamar's son going to the beach. People do what they want to do. I've worked with children a lot in my career. And what I would say to a lot of single parents that they meet someone, don't be so free to let your child go off with anybody. I don't care how long you've been knowing that man. No, you have to know him for a very long time. Let that child get older. Let that child get older before you start letting your children go off with your boyfriend. I'm just telling you from things that I've learned over the years in the career that I was in. And I changed certain I changed certain parts of my career, child protective, housing, known as Section 8, and, different facets of social services, aspects of certain social services. I'm sorry. So I'm not telling people to be paranoid about everything, but watch your children. Watch your children. Don't be so quick to let him go out. You done met this man, known him for a minute, and thank God, his mother was with him. But I don't trust people like that. And he may not have any, and this is just my thoughts. But coming from that line of work, my first instinct tells me, don't, wait a while before you start doing all that. You don't know that man. You don't know that woman. You don't know their intentions. Know them, know them a little bit more besides a minute or two. But anyway, I'm going off into something else. I just want to let you know about that, because this can be one of those life lessons. And I want to bring this out. But like I said, this sounds too familiar to me. Too familiar. Well, this person is being, it just changed that person's life, knowing that person. Changed their person perspective on relationships. This person ruined it for a long time. The person I'm talking about is coming out of it slowly, with help from a therapist. But it just, David and Tamar, the situation sounds too familiar to me. And on the outside looking in, sometimes you can see clearly than the person who's actually in the situation. So anyway, guys, for real, I'm gonna stop this right now. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy your week. Where I am is still hot, but at least it's just in the 90s. So have a great day, guys, and I'll see you next time.